capita. We're a 77% black city. And this is also a city that Dr. King failed in. He came here, went to jail, and said he'd never go back. And we have a lot of issues here in our city, and I definitely wanted to tackle those issues while I was here. And I'd go to different community meetings and things like that, and nobody really wanted to get on the ground and do like the work that I wanted to do. So I decided that I was going to start a program called the X for Boys. We started doing field trips. I started taking young men on field trips, and we went to Atlanta, Montgomery. I mean, we've been to like any Black History museum in the Southeast you could think of. During the summertime of 2019, I lost my job. And at that time, I think that was God trying to let me know you need to go ahead and do what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So I started a summer camp during that summer. Now, mind you, I was broke. I ain't had no money. I had my own house and stuff, but I was broke at the time. And but I was just like, I'm gonna make a flyer and I'm gonna tell parents, what I'm offering for the summer. And if they believe in me, then they'll bring their children. So I told them everything that I'd be offering. And every day I'm so grateful to those parents who believed in this 19-year-old kid to drop their child off every day at my house from 8 to 5 to learn all of these things. So we did reading. I taught them how to change toilets, changing ceiling fans. I mean, we did some of everything. I taught them how to garden. We grew our own food. We did field trips. These are things we did for that summertime. But while I was in that summer program, I realized a lot of our children couldn't read. And about maybe 12 out of the 20 children that I had couldn't read. And I had one kid that's in the 6th grade. He couldn't read at all. And that was an issue for me. And I'm just like, how are these children passing through school and they can't read? How are you expecting them to, get good grades and graduate and be something and be somebody, and they aren't even literate? This is an issue for me. So I started a book club, and I started teaching the children how to read in the book club. We started doing, life lessons and life skills in the book club. We had some men from around our community come and visit the book club. So fast forward to 2020, got invited to the White House. We got chastised a little bit for that because Donald Trump invited us, of course, but he didn't post no pictures with us, didn't try to use us as no pawns or anything, but people were upset about that. But I was telling them, I'm like, these kids who never been anywhere, who never been on any trips, never been on a plane, never really been outside of our city, come from jail, have these records and stuff. And for them to get invited to the White House for the work that they're doing, that's a huge honor, regardless of who's there. So if it was Joe Biden, nobody wouldn't be mad. So why is it an issue, And I don't believe none of the presidents care about anybody. So, that's where I stood with that. So we got invited to the White House, and I mean, just the support has become overwhelming for us. And our support base is so diverse. Like I'm talking about, we have white conservatives all the way down to people in the Nation of Islam. I mean, the Hebrew Israelites to super white Trump supporters, whatever. People support what we're trying to do because the message is universal for doing for self. And that's what I teach my boys. We teach them how to be men. We're teaching them how to protect their women and children. These are the things that I believe, are important for our boys, and they're not learning anymore. And so many people ask, how are you able to change so many kids? Like the parents are just like, how are you able to affect them, so well? And how are you able to, have them come home and not talk back, etc. But when I did some time in the military, and then also I'm consistent with my discipline. I don't let up. They all get in trouble together. They sleep together. They eat together. They do everything together. And I do that to create a brotherhood for them because we have this individualism in our community where we never want to work with each other. So I always let them get in trouble together. Even if, one of them's talking back, I make everybody get in trouble. Well, you already know you should have told your brother not to be talking back. He wasn't supposed to be eating after a certain time at night, but y'all let him do it anyway. So everybody go outside. Everybody about to get the high knees and 6 inches. Everybody about to get it. Because I always tell them, if one of y'all got weed in the car, everybody got weed in the car. So I'm just like, yeah. So I make sure everybody get in trouble. But it's just been a beautiful journey, man. And yesterday, you kind of sparked it off. I went on Mr. Roland Martin show, and I was a big fan of his, but he started attacking me on Twitter for absolutely no reason. I had no clue why he was attacking me, but he had tagged me and a friend of mine called me a Republican. And I was like, I'm not a Republican. And he was talking about voter suppression. And I was just like, that's not my fight. I told him that on Twitter, but he was like, well, y'all come on the show. But my friend couldn't come on the show because he's Byron Donald's press secretary. And he couldn't come on the show. So I went, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna just get on there and talk about my program and tell him what I am fighting for. And he was like, well, what is your fight? And all that. Well, I was like, well, this is what I'm doing. And this is what I believe in. So how are you going to tell me that not, relying on government is not going to work when I'm doing it, and we're doing it? So I tried to keep it civil. I kept it respectful, and I did invite him to come speak to my children afterwards. But the slick stuff he was saying on Twitter and the little backhanded stuff he was saying afterwards, and his little panel got on there and said their little stuff about me. I kind of was just like, I'm not even finna do this with you, man. I tried to keep it respectful, regardless of him calling me names on Twitter and stuff. I just let him have it. But then you shared a video yesterday on YouTube, and you kind of did your little podcast, and it kind of made a lot of rounds. And right now my social media is going bananas. I got like 16,000 followers on Instagram in a night, and like so many people are like reaching out all because of the video you did.